Ooh, can we? How I love to lay down and every itch. Hey, what's going on, people? What is going on, people? Man, this is your boy Six Man K Styles, aka the fullback, aka the new tight end of
Mm-hmm.
the motherfucking building. Got some mans over here. He's going by today as the Great Muta. For all my wrestling fans that's watching, you already know who the Great Muta is.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, Mike's calling himself a legend.
Oh yeah.
Bad Mike Sports is in the building, man. What is going on, people? This is Tuesday night. How's everybody doing? And before we get to what we need to get to, we have one thing that we have to do, and that is the
Real.
roll call.
Oh yeah.
And this time, I got my high quality H2O.
Me too. Hey, I'm trying to lose a little bit of weight. This is the first time in my life I've been over 200 pounds, so I need to get that.
Shit. Shit, I done got down to 269, bro.
Oh
Shit.
wow.
I
Damn.
know. I know.
Wow. That's
Well,
damn. Y'all don't know. Like K Style was damn what,
I
by
was I was
300.
I was I was pushing 330.
Wow. 69, that's a tremendous improvement. Like seriously,
Right.
congratulations, yeah, boy.
I,
Ooh, that is not
I,
easy.
yeah, beginning of last year, I was pushing close to 330.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so it's a work in progress. But today's roll call is gonna go to Joseph Thornton. That's the homie right there. We got YMOF Jamal. Hey, we got Jarvis Williams in the building. We got Noah Tyndale. Shouts
Oh,
out to the family right there. Be tuned tomorrow night.
mm-hmm.
Whiteboard Wednesdays with Noah Tyndale. You already know. We got Silas Draven. We got Todrick Davis. I got ATL Leo. We got Natsuo. We got Drew True Statement. We got Pat Norris. We got Gabriel Lombro, J Dog, ATM 534, The Young Gunner. Um, we got Bubble Gum. We got ATL Forever Goofy. Not ATL, not ATL Forever. Jamal Grant goof ass over here talking about y'all all ugly. Forget you, man. I got cute features, so I'm good. But
Love Cool James.
the ladies love K Styles.
Mm.
Oh, he said he don't want. He said he don't do whiteboard Wednesdays no more. He like no. But hey, man, what we got for him tonight, Mike?
Hey, this is interesting. I really had a plan to do it earlier today, but I wanted to do things right. So we want to give you guys every aspect of the press conference earlier today, and let us know if you saw it earlier today. Kind of leave, emoji, whatever, in the comment section. But um, Arthur Smith, Terry Fontenot has some interesting things to say, and um, I'm kind of noticing a pattern. Just me personally, I'm noticing a pattern. Is that these guys in the off season they don't leave it, like they don't stick to a particular um I'll say they are open to hear any and everything. That's something that I'm realizing when you're talking about the Falcons and previous regime. They was like, all right, this guy's off limits, this guy's off limits, we not doing this, and they stuck to that. They stuck to that. They will see through. You can see all their moves unfold, and then it's like honestly, the first time the Falcons are clear as far as their vision and what they want. But one thing that I have noticed is that these guys they leave all avenues open in the offseason. And one of the reasons why I say that is because of this statement.
Let's go ahead and move that banner, by the way. If y'all just now tuning in, today's topic is the Fontenot and Arthur Smith press conference Q&A recap. So we're basically going to be looking at tweets and questions that was during the press conference. That shout out to my boy, Let's Get It GA, and he's showing love as usual. Go ahead, Mike. We'll read it for him.
Here goes Arthur comments on Matty Ice, aka Matt Ryan. Certainly feels good about where he's at. We anticipate Matt Ryan being a part of the team, but they are but they don't ever want to put themselves into a corner. I think Matt Ryan has a lot of good football left in him. Then this is a tweet that I will get your thoughts on it. Go ahead, you give your thoughts on
it. Let's break it down. He said, feels good about where he's at. We anticipate him being part of the team, but you don't ever want to back yourself into a corner. The way that I see that comment is 9 times out of 10, they want him he's going to be in the plans. But that one part of the tweet is the part I think that everybody's really focusing on, and a lot of people are focusing on, and this is where you're seeing a lot on social media, where most of the opinion is coming from, is when he says, you don't want to back yourself into a corner. When you think of a statement like that, that's all that pretty, for me, what it looks like is it's preparations, and it kind of goes what you just said, as far as they looking into all possibilities, whether it be players or philosophies and stuff like that. Is they're saying they're open to having a go-to plan for the future. Like I said, they want to be loyal to Matt Ryan, but they also want to put a game plan to make the transition to the next generation a lot easier. Because by saying that he has a lot of good football left in him, that's ensuing that confidence in him. That's letting Matt Ryan know, okay, we're confident in what you can bring to this team and what you can bring to us right now. But when you don't want to back yourself to a corner, and we just using Matt Ryan because that's what the statement said, is they want to make sure they can get the most out of him now and prepare for the future. You don't want to be in a situation where you don't have that transitional period or that quarterback to transition to. But the main focus is they want to build it, and it's a possibility that the successor might be in this draft. That's how I kind of took that.
Yeah, I think, in essence, and kind of go along with what you said, we anticipate Matt being a part of the team. That's the second part of it also. But you didn't want to back yourself into a corner. If someone gives you an offer, you can't refuse. And like I said, the words, everything is there. And it's the exact same thing that they said last year. They were not commit to Matt Ryan. They're not going to commit to him. They know, all right, we thank you. We think you are a valuable player, But we're going to make sure that we get the best out of all our players, and Matt Ryan is no exception to that. And Matt knows how we feel about him. Matt has a lot of good football left in him. And like I said, this for me, what this signifies and what it means is that nobody's off limits. All right, nobody's off limits. And like I could have got that statement even from himself, but he pretty much said in the press conference that like if Terry felt like trading him as a head coach would be a good idea, then like even he's not off limits. I think that's one thing that the previous regime did is that like they pretty much said, all right, Matt Ryan is our guy, Julio's our guy, and these guys are untouchable. Keanu is untouchable, Dion is untouchable. Everybody was untouchable, so everybody got contracts. Everybody got contracts. Yeah, what's that?
So basically, what you are telling me is that they're saying they're holding everybody accountable for their play on the field and their actions in the organization. That's a very that is a 180 right there from what we were used to.
I like I said, I like it. At the end of the day, like a fall off for any player can happen year to year. So that's like we literally saw that with Julio Jones from the 19th to the 19th to 20 season and then 21 to 20 to 21 season. Like we literally saw that. So you never want to put yourself in position where you're forced into a corner like they've been forced into a corner with Calvin Ridley. And like I said, this does pertain to Matt Ryan, but I think just in its entirety, like you just don't want players to have the majority of the say so, or they're gonna hamstring the offense. And right now, they are hamstrung because one, they keep reiterating that they do not want to spend too much money, future money. So essentially what that tells me is that two things. When you look at the numbers tell you everything that you need to what you need to say. One thing that I did want to bring up real quick before I kind of go to the next one is that in the press conference I never heard one thing about Foye Oluokun. Like they never stated anything about Foye and re-signing anybody. I don't know, like, and this is where I'm gonna point the finger at these fucking journalists, and excuse my language, but this is a question that you guys failed. I'm talking about D-Lid, I'm talking about Tory, I'm talking about all of them. Y'all failed to get the clear answer on Foye Oluokun because y'all so focused on Calvin Ridley, you so focused on Matt Ryan. Why did you not ask a question about Foye? Nobody answered any questions about Foye. Is he going to be here? Are you going to re-sign him? Nope. Y'all trying to get the scoop so we can get, all right, what's going on? It's all about Matt Ryan. So these are the things we're talking about. This is why you guys subscribe to the channel. We're going to talk about these things. Not one person that I see that is a reporter said anything about Foye Oluokun. Nobody said anything. Everybody was so focused on, are we going to trade Matt Ryan? What are we going to do with the first pick, with the 8th pick? What are we going to do about Calvin Ridley? Nobody asked a question about, are we going to do, what are we going to do about Foye? We don't have the money. They're so worried about the 4 contracts from Grady Jarrett, Deion Jones, Matt Ryan, and Jake Matthews. The big 4. The guys that really, as far as like the contract and the money that is quote unquote holding this team back from going out and actually, going full force and bringing in a lot of talent. They're so focused on those guys, they're not focusing on what we're going to do with Fourier. Did anybody hear anything about all right CP? They didn't really talk about CP. Terry said he wants to bring in guys like CP, and like I said, we're going to get to that. But essentially, what the statement that I'm really trying to convey is that nobody's at this point. Nobody's off limits, and that's the way it should be. Until a team comes and offer you an offer that you can't refuse.
Mm-hmm.
Like if the team wanted to give me 3 first round picks for Matt Ryan at 37, why wouldn't I listen? Why wouldn't I? Let's just keep it 100. He's 37 years old. If you want to give me 3 or 4, especially 3 first round picks for Matt Ryan at 37, when I know at 30 and 40 years old, most quarterbacks don't play to a high level. Why wouldn't I want to listen? It's all about listening and not because if you don't listen and Matt Ryan falls off the next year, then you handicapping your team. This is what he means by not wanting to put yourself and back yourself into a corner. Because at any given moment, we see Ezekiel Elliott. He's another guy. He got his contract, and he went straight to the ground. So, like I said, that's essentially what I felt that mean. And let's see, is that no? We went through that one. Another one, they had a formal interviews. Falcons had formal interviews with several quarterbacks and wide receivers on Monday. General Manager Terry Fontenot said during the combine. Is that uncommon though? Like that's like my thing.
Shit.
That's the way you should be. Why? Because you have a quarterback. Why shouldn't you look at one of the guys? Because we've seen before quarterback drop in the draft. Aaron Rodgers was one of those guys. He's one of those guys who dropped. And the Packers end up getting a steal because he dropped in the lower half. So it's at any given point, you want to make sure that you have these guys, at least interview these guys because you just never know. You might see these guys in free agency, and then it's like these guys might not pan out for a next team, and then 2-3 years, all right, you interview this guy, and you got a chance to bring him in. This is the reason why you want to, at least interview every prospect because you never know that player could be a free agent. He might want to force a trade, and he wants to play for your team, like Odell Beckham. Like Odell Beckham chose his team after he was let go. So like I said, I have no problem with that. So what are your thoughts on that?
Bring it back up right quick. Falcons had formal interviews with several quarterbacks and wide receivers on Monday. Why are we surprised? I mean, you got to look at all the prospects. You're not just looking at one prospect. You're not looking at like one particular group that you're trying to get or trying to be the main focus of. You're trying to look at everything because, like you say, it may be one of those cases where you might see one of those quarterbacks might fall in a certain spot in the draft that you're like, okay, he fell, boom, right there. Or one of those wide receivers like, he fell, boom. See, we already have the interview process, so we already know what these guys are about. How about I say you can take it down now. You can take it down. But there's going to be one particular thing though. And I think a lot of people kind of missed the point on it.
Mm-hmm.
Is those comments have a lot of smoke screens behind them as well. If you actually read them out loud to yourself, they got a lot. They got a lot of smoke screens. But they cannot make a rash move. That's the thing that I was to say.
Mm-hmm.
You want to move to the future, but you don't want to make a rash move.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have to remember this team is $7 million over the cap. It ain't really a lot of moves you can make until free agency start, unless you either extend guys or trade guys and stuff like that. So when it's talk about backing it, so like going back to where the backing into the corner thing is, it almost kind of felt like they took a shot at the previous regime.
Yeah, I think so.
I think that's exactly what it was. I think they kind of took a shot at the last regime. Because remember, you had, like, and we said this before, you signed everybody. You said it just a few minutes ago. You signed everybody. Now you at a position to where, okay, if this guy don't pan out, boom, cut, boom, 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 boom. You lose a lot of money. So, hey, man.
Let me. I want to make one thing clear, because I think people are getting this idea that we're saying Matt Ryan is out of here. He's definitely out of here. That's
Hey,
not.
hell no.
That's not what any of us are saying. Okay, what we're saying is, and what the Falcons are saying, you don't want to focus on. All right, this is our guy, especially Matt Ryan at 37 years old. He's 37. Okay, let's just keep it 100% real. He's 37. The fall off could be at any given year. We've seen it before with so many quarterbacks. Phillip Rivers, Ben Roethlisberger looked like absolute shit the last couple of years. The fall off could come at any given moment for any quarterback. We saw it with Tom Brady. That's why he needed 5 million players in the number one ranked defense. Okay, the fall off of quarterbacks where they can carry teams can happen at any given moment. So what you don't want to do as an organization is to commit to a guy 100%. So you got to protect yourself with these contracts, like a Patrick Mahomes. All right, the contract with Patrick Mahomes was essentially is a 3 to 4 year deal, committing to him, and then the rest of the years are void years, are option years. So you go back to negotiating table. All right, it's been 2 to 3 years. Let's see where you at, Patrick. Let's see where you at, Matt. We're going to renegotiate your contract. And that's essentially what the Packers, the Bucks did with Tom Brady. He signed a 2-year deal when he first got to the Bucks. All right. And then they saw him when he got there, they saw him playing well. So it's like, okay, you still playing well. Let's go back to the negotiating table and get you, we're going to give you an extension. We're going to get you an extension for 3 more years. But those 3 years were avoidable years. He could retire at any given moment, and that money would not be allocated towards him, and guaranteed. So this is what we're talking about. This is not a guarantee that Matt Ryan is out of here, because he still accounts for 23% of the salary cap. Okay? He accounts for 23% of the salary cap, which is $48 million. That money ain't going nowhere. Okay? It's not going anywhere. You cannot get another team to take on $48 million, because 80%, 90% of the league don't even have $48 million in salary cap space to begin with. All right? So I just want to make that clear. What This show is to make sense out of everything, okay? We're going to speak truthfully and honest about what we see in these tweets. So, like I said, I wanted to make that clear because I don't want to give the impression that we're saying, all right, Matt Ryan is definitely out of here. Grady Jarrett out of here. Totally rebuilding. The man said he doesn't want to rebuild. He wants to, if I can bring that up again, I don't know where it's at.
Hold on. Get the back. Let me get that comment off.
Okay. All right. So this is the statement. All right. In his vote, we want to be patient, cost effective, patient, and value. Okay. Those are the words that I want people to focus on. Patience, cost effective, okay, and value. Those are the things that you're talking about. How it's going to make sense to say, all right, we're trying to be patient as far as building a team and go out for value players, spend money on value. Like what you don't want to do. I think the Falcons, what they don't want to do is do what we did. And I know you know where I'm going. We don't want to bring up going out giving $20 million to guys like Jane Carpenter and Jamon Brown. We don't want to do stuff like that anymore. We don't want to We don't want to give $20 million to Ray Edwards again. Those are not value picks. Those are rushing because you fail to go out and build the roster the proper way. So this is what we mean by cost effective and being patient and making the right necessary moves to build a team.
That's exactly what I took out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is when you look at the Matt Ryan thing, I still believe they will give me the extension, but it's not going to be the 5-year extension type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be that.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you're saying patience and cost effective, you still have to, you got to open up enough money to make some type of moves.
Mm-hmm.
Patience. When I look at patience, I'm looking at building the team. But like I said, I'm looking at that building the team thing. Because remember, this team got a whole lot of holes they got to fill.
Mm-hmm.
This ain't one of those situations where you necessarily have a okay team and you can take that chance to push that transition quickly. You got a whole bunch of holes because you need pass rushers. You need to try to get the best pass rushers you can get. You still need some interior linemen. You still need running backs. You need wide receivers. You're going to possibly need another tight end.
Mm-hmm.
You possibly going to need another lineman.
A linebacker, because we don't know what's going to happen with Fourier.
Yeah. So when we look at that aspect of it, and the thing is, and we also have to remember here too. And this is one thing I know about how these two operate. They know how to play some poker. They're not finna give you everything.
Mm-hmm.
They not giving. Then they, like I said, they not finna give you everything. They're giving you little snippets here, and it's gonna come down to this. And I'm going off from my personal feeling and how I think what's gonna happen is all going to depend on the Calvin Ridley deal. It comes back to Calvin Ridley, Matt Ryan. This is why I did that show and I said these two are the most critical parts of this offseason, because if you extend, you can make room for the next couple of years and build this team.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't extend,
you're gonna be penny pinching.
You really be penny pinching, and you got to hit this year. Because if you don't hit this year and you don't extend, ain't a lot of money. There's not going to be a lot of money here and there, and it's going to be a rough couple years trying to build a team. So the main thing we're saying is what we're saying is all options is on the table. Don't think it's one way or another. But don't be surprised if the extensions happen. Mm-hmm. That's why I said there's a lot of smoke screens, because like I said, it looks obvious right there, but when you look deep into it, there's a lot more being said there than what they letting on to be.
Yeah, you want to open up all options in the beginning of the season. Like this is how you get the best deal. You can't just say, all right, I'm just gonna shop at Sam's. You got to go around. You got to look at other stores. You got to do this. You got to do that. You got to get a hop on the internet and look at everything. All right, you got to call around. Hey, man, you know any deals? These are the things you gotta open yourself up to. So, like I said before, this isn't an option. Like when we talk about Matt Ryan, the Falcons aren't in a position this year to move on from Matt Ryan. Okay. And this is why I ask you guys, if you want to know more about the salary cap, hit up Matt Carey. Okay, the Falcons. Do you guys think the Falcons at this point in time, all right, they don't have enough guys that are good enough or even making enough money to even get over the salary cap, to get under the salary cap? You can't, if they're going to get under salary cap, they're going to hit the dead cap. They can't release nobody on this team. You look at Tyler Davidson, you release Tyler Davidson, you're still going to be over the cap. You release any one of those guys. Mm-hmm. Sheffield, you release Tyler Davidson and Sheffield. That's still not enough money to bring in to make sure they got enough money to go out and spend in free agency and sign a draft player. That's still not enough money. So it's not a matter, okay, Mike or whomever loves Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan, in my opinion, you have to come to some sort of deal. Now, I truly believe that the Falcons are going to sign Matt Ryan. I truly believe that Matt Ryan is going to be extended, but the days of a $30, $40 million contract extension, I think that's done. No. Matt Ryan is to a point not only at his age, but he's had, not to say he can't have another MVP season, but we don't have the players to even get him to that point where he's going to be in the MVP conversation. The Falcons roster is depleted. Okay, I just keep it 100. We've been shopping in the CFL. Okay.
Remember that we shop at CFL players.
We shopping for CFL players. We don't have the money or the talent. So to get rid of a guy that's going to accrue about 48 million, it's going to be 60 up about 50 to 60 million dollars in dead cap space if we were to get rid of Matt Ryan this year. So it's not a matter of, oh, I love Matt Ryan. It's about business and being able to add more players. Because if you, let's just say the Falcons do trade Matt Ryan. One, who's going to play quarterback? Two, who's going to be the wide receiver? The wide receivers. Who's going to be running? Who's going to be on defense side of the ball? Are you willing, as a Falcons fan, to sit and watch an absolute shit show? Because you're not going to sell tickets. You're not going to watch it. And in it, the NFL damn sure ain't going to get a Falcons no home, like no big-time games. Because in the NFL, I don't know if you guys know this, if you don't sell out the stadium, they can black you out.
Mm-hmm.
So you won't even be able to see the Falcons.
I mean, if you actually realistically look at it, we're technically almost at the point of being. We've almost been at the point of being blacked out for the last 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be honest. But Dre True Statement here got the $5 super chat. He said, did I get a chance to read Steve White's article on the extension that could happen? His plan was interesting to me. What y'all take if y'all did?
Yeah, everything is possible, but nothing means anything if you don't extend Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan is the top priority. Calvin Ridley and Matt Ryan is the top priority. Everything that he said in that article was absolutely true. I fully expect everything to happen, what he said, but nothing means nothing if you can't move Calvin Ridley, because the Falcons cannot afford that contract. No matter how much we try to pretend, we cannot afford Calvin Ridley contract and a quarterback's contract, whether it's Matt Ryan or not. That's $100 million. That with the skill set that Calvin Ridley has, with the numbers that he put up, he's going to get 16 plus a year at wide receiver. He's that good. The Falcons can't afford to even bring, like, they can't afford to bring him back. We have yet to even build a defense. We don't have a wide receiving core. So yes, it's absolutely true what he said. About extending Grady Jarrett, extending Jake Matthews, and I believe it was Deion Jones as well. Yes, that happens, but you're still looking at $20 million. You're pretty much freeing up about $20 to $30 million with those moves. So if we're talking about, getting rid of Matt Ryan, all that goes. Let's just say we keep Matt Ryan and let his contract run out. You still got $20 million to try to build your team. That's not enough to build a team. You gotta understand what we're saying. To build a team, $20 million ain't it. That's nothing.
If you're talking about you want to build a team of players that's worth a damn.
That's worth it. Because those big-time picks, those picks that you're going to get in the first round and second round, that start to add up. That's about dollars in itself. Because if you got $7 million to there's about $7 to $10 million for the first 5 to 7 players, and then the bottom is about 3 to 5. The bottom half, everything is about $2 to $3 million. All right, so that's not enough money. By the time you sign a draft class, you ain't got no money for free agents. So again, you still shopping. You're still shopping at the bargain. You're still in the bargain, in the basement.
Bargain bin shouting.
That's nothing. And this is the reason why I say they have to make it. They have to do something with Matt Ryan if they're going to build a team the proper way. This ain't about Matt Ryan at all, because this is any quarterback. If it was any quarterback, a Peyton Manning or whomever, you still going to have. Because what people don't realize with Tom Brady Tom Brady was only making $19 million last year. He was only making $19 million last year. That's 20 guaranteed money. 19 about $20 million guaranteed. But what that did, they still had a team. They were still bringing in money as a collective. They were bringing money by winning games. You make more money as an organization when you win games. When you lose, you're not bringing in no money. So again, the Falcons have to get something done with this Matt Ryan, and it goes back to Isaac. Like it's these deals that we're talking about. What really screwed the Falcons is the Jamon Browns, those types of deals, re-signing,
Robert Offer, Desmond Trufant, Devontae Freeman, like you said, Jamon and James Carpenter. What was another one? Because the issue wasn't the fact that they got the deals. The issue was that was one of the issues that they got the deal, but the issue was they never finished out the deals.
So it's essentially wasting money.
So, hey man, at the end of the day, you got to think about it one ways here. Are you going to? God damn it! I just had it too. I just had it right there, and I just lost
it. It happens to the best of us.
But like you said, okay, here you go. So even if you do extend Matt Ryan, let's say they do extend Matt Ryan for 3-4 years. Who says he still might not get traded after he get that extension?
Mm-hmm. He can still be traded.
He can still be traded. But by giving him the extension, you soften the blow of what his cap would be.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why people are pointing towards the extension, because it's not so much of the personal thing of, okay, you just want to keep, you gotta try to soften these cap hits as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
You got a wide receiver that you don't know if he even wants to be here. So you looking for shopping deals on that, and he didn't make the case. He didn't make the case any better because nobody knows the nuances of what's going on with him. You still got Jay Matthews. He's coming up. He's coming up here in the next couple years. Dion as well, Grady. So that's what the thing of the extensions is. We didn't say restructures. We said extensions. There's a difference. Extensions is essentially adding money to soften the blow. I mean, but at the end of both, the end result is kind of the same, but it's two different terminologies. But an extension is just spreading the money out 3-4 more years. A restructure is just pushing the money to the back end of the deal.
And one reason why you want to restructure or extend is because
you
give more. When you extend, you're giving them more guaranteed money. Guaranteed money is how they manipulate the cap numbers. So what they can do, he's still getting that $35 million or whatever that guaranteed money is, but he can keep switching and playing with the guaranteed money. That's the point. That's the focus. That's why you want to give. That's why you want to extend so you can play with the cap numbers.
And kind of going back to what you were saying before that about the Foyer situation, about how the reporters never really asked questions about Foyer. This is kind of going back to what we were talking about for is, do anybody really put value in the team? And the issue with the Foyer situation is, once again, you don't have any money.
Mm-hmm.
You can't afford to franchise Foyer to save your life. You franchise Foyer, your cap is gone.
So you right back where you were before.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, you got some key free agents here that this team has to prepare for, and this is where cost efficient and value comes in at. Because remember, you got Cordero Patterson, free agent. You got Isaiah Oliver, free agent. These are two key pieces for this team last year before Isaiah Oliver got hurt. So essentially, by having patience, the patience comes back to they have to draft guys that fit those roles, that like a lot of those guys that are leaving, particularly that the roles they played. So where it'd be like, okay, I could plug this guy into this role. Boom, he already knows it. Doom. Okay, we right back where we got off, and he's younger, and I got about 3-4 more years of him.
Mm-hmm.
But Foyer, like I said, I'm not really expecting Foyer to be back. It's unfortunate, but hey, man, you out of money. You got it's like looking at that gas bill in the summer. You be like, I don't know. I don't need the damn heat in the summer, so push that shit down that way somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but again, this is all about and this is just the way of the NFL. Contracts, it's all about the money. Like I said, at the end of the day, just because you don't want to see a guy anymore doesn't mean that the guy may not be here. They can give about what you think as a fan. They got an organization to run.
Mm-hmm.
And they want to be able to still make money. See, the biggest thing is that we cannot, as much as y'all people like, as much as people want to ignore it, owners still want to make money. Okay, that's first and foremost. You're not going to make money when you're losing. Okay, that's the whole objective. Just because the Atlanta United is doing well, the Hawks doing well, he ain't making that much money for Atlanta United. MLS ain't bringing that money like that. They really bringing the money when they do these, these other tournaments outside the MLS. That's how they really make a lot of their money. The MLS is not really bringing the money like that. So at the end of the day, you're not going to win games. And
if you ain't got no damn money.
If you ain't got no money.
You got to have money to win.
That's it. These are legally binding contracts. You can't just decide, all right, I don't want to play Matt Ryan no $48 million. He gone. Let's trade him. Nope. You got to run him, Matt Ryan and his agent, be like, hey, bitch, run me my money.
Run me my check.
That's it.
Run me my check.
Run me my check. Okay? So just because y'all, I'm tired of seeing Matt Ryan. Nope. Falcons got to, if they tired of seeing Matt Ryan, even if the Falcons are tired of seeing Matt Ryan, they don't have the luxury like of Philadelphia. Even Philadelphia is an absolute cap hill themselves right now. Why? Because they rushed into a deal. They got rid of a guy with a $39 million cap hit. They can't do. They have no choice but to bring in what's his name?
Jalen Hurts.
They didn't have a choice. They They did not have a choice. The Saints did not have a choice but to bring in Jameis Winston for a couple of $1 million. Why? Because they went all in with Drew Brees. They exhausted all their salary cap space, and now they right back where at square one, sucking. So it's not a matter of, oh, Mike likes this guy, or whomever likes this guy. It's about we're going to make sure to get, in order for us to get money, we're going to let Grady Jarrett's contract or extend him run out. We're going to let Grady Jarrett's contract run out. If we don't want to re-sign him, we're going to let it run out. Same with Fourier, the same with Jake, because most of these guys only got like, I think Jake's got like 2, Dion got like 2, but like Grady, this is his last year of that deal. So they can decide to let his money run if they have a guy in a draft that just ends up being an Aaron Donald or another Grady Jarrett. Grady Jarrett is good as gone.
Right.
But I still think they believe in Grady and they want to win. So that's just my personal opinion about how they want to build a team. I think they're trying to win, but at the end of the day, they still got $1 billion stadium that they got to pay for.
And like Jew Talk, shout out to Jew Talk Sports. He said, "I'm tired of paying players to play for other teams." I think this will be officially the 3rd or 4th year in a row where we have we'll be starting the season with at least a $20 million dead cap.
$15 million for Julio Jones just to get rid of it.
And the $4 million for Dante Fowler. Yeah.
So with Julio Jones, we got the roster. When the roster bonus is done, I think we win the league year. I think the roster bonus. I got to look at it, but somewhere around March, around free agency hit, that's when players are after free agency. That's when they're eligible for their roster bonus. Matt Ryan is coming in. Matt Ryan's roster bonus is coming somewhere in March. So they got to make sure that they clear up space, or they're gonna get a hit for Matt Ryan's money. Matt Ryan is about $16 million for the roster bonus. The totality of his bonuses, it's about $16 million.
And as I keep saying before, how did it get to this point? It was just said exactly earlier. You get a contract, you get a contract, you get a contract, you get a contract. And not letting them finish it out. Like I said, I think this is the 3rd straight year that we'll be going into a season with at least a $20 million dead cap. I think the 3rd straight year.
Yep.
That's fucking insane. I don't want to say it like that, but that's fucking insane, bro.
That's 3rd straight year with over $20 million in cap. That's a damn near.
So that's why Matt Ryan's cap hit is so high. Y'all blame I'm gonna say it like this. Y'all blaming the wrong guy. Y'all blaming the guy that's here, not blaming the guy that's not here.
And that's the reason why he's not here.
Think about it. 3 straight years of a $20+ million dead cap hit.
About $60 million of money that you can't use.
Exactly. You like Mike, you just said it that made it actually sound worse. You've essentially wasted $60 million on players that don't play for this team no more.
And the salary cap is $204 million. So the Falcons are only dealing with about $140 million. All other teams are well over 150.
Right. So You got any more comment?
Uh,
Okay. Hold on. Okay, let's get this right quick. Let's get this one right quick. I'll go ahead and read this one. Said Falcons GM Terry Fontenot said what happened with Cordero Patterson this year is what we need to go after. Find value in players who signed after the first wave of free agency. Fontenot also selling Atlanta hard. Really, the city should clip what he said as a sales pitch. Which goes back to hold on, y'all. I'm trying to find it. Here so I can put it on the screen. If I can't find it, I'm gonna just say it. Basically, oh, here we go. Basically, this is what it's gonna be.
All right.
That's essentially what it's gonna be. Dollar Tree, Dollar General. We gonna be under the bridge asking for change, stuff like that.
I think we're gonna exhaust the hell out of some talent, like a Kyle Pitts, because we're gonna run his ass to the ground because we're gonna try to overcompensate for the talent that we don't have. So we're gonna overuse players, and that's gonna take years off of their career.
Mm-hmm. Right. So
that statement, and the statement that like stands out to me is in the middle, after the first wave of free agency. So do not expect to see anything done in the first wave of free agency. Falcons are not going to spend money like that. They're not going to do anything.
But that third statement actually is what's intriguing me as well. They said Fontenot is also selling Atlanta hard. Really, the city should clip what he said in a sales pitch. But it comes back down to what we've been saying as well. You can sell. Let me tell
you what he said. Basically, what he said with that. Now the sales pitch is they want to become the city where guys come back to prove themselves to get that bag. So the Falcons are going to give team players, if you willing to come here to sign that 1-year deal, we're going to feature you in not only the defense, the offense. So you can come here, play well. If you play well, it's going to set you up to go get the bag. That's what they tried to do with Dante Fowler, to set him up to prove that he's that guy. But Dante Fowler didn't do it. So that's what you're going to see a bunch of 1-year deals for $1 million, $2 million. That's what they're trying to sell.
But this kind of also goes back to what we've been saying too as well, is a lot of these free agents too look at the culture of not only the team, but the fan base and the city itself as well. We have to take a look at that. If you actually pay attention, if you look at free agents, where you have like some decent players that's out there, you haven't really seen no real big free agent say, "Oh, I want to play in Atlanta." Not only because of the culture of, like I said, it's not only just the culture of the team you have to worry about, but it's got to be the culture of the fan base. It's got to be the culture of the city. Like players take account of these as well. So, like I said, as we all gotta take accountability for a lot of the stuff that we do, especially on here, we take accountability for what we say on our takes. A lot of the fans have to take accountability for creating, and like I said, this is not all fans. This is to specific fans. So if you don't fall in this category, I'm not talking about you. Because these players look at social media. We gotta remember this is the social media age. So these players looking at these fan bases like, ooh, I don't know if I want to play there. Them motherfuckers love the players that don't want to be there, but they hate the players that want to be there. So they look at stuff like that like, I don't know.
It's not necessarily bargain shopping like continued. Like free agency, people don't realize free agency is a crapshoot. The players did not sign these guys for a reason. For whatever the reason is, you didn't re-sign these guys for whatever that reason is. So you don't want to go over. You don't want to go over. Overpaying for guys that their team didn't want to begin with. It's the reason why they let those guys. This is why the Falcons have essentially failed so many times signing guys in free agency.
Yeah. Bargain shopping to find a gem. I mean, hey, shoot, I mean, you ain't got no choice at this point. You gotta think about it. You ain't got no choice at this point. And like what Mike said about the crapshoot too is you're literally going from one system to another system. The players might not be the same in the system that you just came from. If you chasing the money, you chasing the money. Who says you're a good fit? Wait a minute. Hold on.
Go ahead.
We got a $5 super chat from You Can Call on Tyrone. Tell you can help me. Call on Tyrone. What's going on, man? What's going on? That's one of our player partners over there. Feli Sports Podcast over there as well, man. Y'all make sure y'all show him some love as well. Call on Tyrone. He got Erykah Badu over there too, so y'all get the best of both worlds.
Ooh yeah.
Yeah. And I like what Tony right here said right here.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
You have to hit on these draft picks, man. There's some good, talented collegiate players that'll be available for the Falcons with multiple draft picks that the team will have just 2 trades. Yeah, you also have to think about it too. It's not a guarantee that these guys' jobs is safe. Terry Fontenot and Arthur Smith. It's not a guarantee that their jobs are safe.
Because if they get a trade request for a player that they feel as though like a Richie Grant may not fit in the scheme, and that's why players are calling to see what they can get for a Richie Grant because they need a safety. Like everybody is, like everybody is eligible to be gone. You know what I'm saying? Right. But it has to, again, it goes into what we're saying. It has to make sense. What the last thing that you want to do at this point in time is trade away a guy and you don't have his replacement ready. What's the point of trading a guy if you don't have a replacement or you don't have the draft picks, the assets to even pay the guys but to play the guys? You just basically got rid of a Grady Jarrett and you still don't have a replacement for Grady Jarrett. All right. What's the point of trading away a Matt Ryan if our backup, the next guy in line, is Felipe Franks?
Right.
Yeah, you just got rid of Matt Ryan, but you still have a problem.
And then by you doing that, and you're not, and what it is, I'm gonna say exactly how Mike said it, but I'm gonna say it in a different way. You're putting a Band-Aid on the situation, but you're not fixing the issue. You're just putting a Band-Aid on the issue. If you don't set this foundation the right way.
You want to be in a position to get rid of them.
Mm-hmm. And Jude hit it here best, and this is the number one thing: player development, bro. You gotta. That's the thing. If you look at a lot of the good teams, a lot of the teams that consistently win,
Pittsburgh,
they always have a formula. They win in the draft. They bridge in free agency.
Mm-hmm.
Which means you can be active in free agency, but essentially you're going to have to develop your players. The guys that you draft are the guys that you're going to invest 3 to 5 years in. Them the guys you have to develop into players.
Mm-hmm.
Free agents are just essentially just hired mercenaries that you're only going to use for a short a period of time. Hold on, there was a question in here. D Can't Stop Here said, how would you feel if Daniel Jones was the backup for Matt Ryan?
I don't want anybody's wasted talent on my team. I'd rather draft a guy.
I would rather draft the quarterback than get a Daniel Jones, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I want my own guy. I don't want nobody who has been in someone else's system and they pick up bad habits from that system. Don't want it. Nope.
Right. Because if you're banking on free agency to get a backup for somebody, you essentially not building the team right.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's a free agent for he's available for a reason. Just think about that. He's available for a reason.
These guys are not. It's just like, let's say it like this.
Mm-hmm.
What if LeBron James is all of a sudden he's still putting up 25? He put up 25 points, 10 assists, 5 rebounds, and then all of a sudden the Lakers decide today, all right, we're gonna trade him. I'm gonna be like, okay, why the hell are you trading LeBron? There's something wrong with his knees? Higher? Like, these guys just don't put great players or good players up for no reason. This is why, like, going back to even what the Hawks did with, and I know Sam ain't gonna like this analogy. That was the reason why the Hawks put up the Dominique for trade.
The knees was gone.
The knees were gone, bro.
It was
Achilles that same year. That was the reason why. He was old. He wasn't the same knee. So these players are being put up for trades for a reason. It's not because they're good or they're disgruntled. They knew Odell Beckham was damaged goods. Are still valuable if he can stay healthy, but he's damaged goods. So again, players are not hitting the market or the trade market for absolute reason. And what you want to do as an organization is lessen the risk. You don't want to pay guys $20 million for risk. If you're gonna pay a guy, you pay your own guy that you know who's good, you develop him, you know what he can do, you know his attitude, one first and foremost. We know Grady Jarrett's gonna give it 100 if he's healthy. I don't know.
Look. I'm gonna put this in a term in here that okay, we further into the show, so it's not gonna get demonetized. Yeah. Would you be willing to use an already used condom?
Oh no, you didn't. No, you didn't.
You want to use a condom somebody else than already used?
Oh no.
No. Get me one fresh out the pack.
Yeah.
That shit. Oh man. Hey, look. We got one of our homies in here. The magnificent. He said, "What do y'all think of Matt Ryan for Quentin Nelson?"
I mean,
the deal got to be right.
Look, I don't know if he done killed babies or whatever. You giving me Quentin Nelson for Matt Ryan? I'll be like, what the fuck wrong with him? I'm just me. Because that dude is a monster.
Like, wait a minute. You telling me that knee injury was worse than we thought?
Right.
Nah.
I'll do it because, like I said, he's a young player. Matt Ryan, 37. I'm doing it. He's an offensive guy. You get a quarterback that can just be adequate while you build a defense. You can win with that. You've seen that before. I mean, Trent Dilfer is a perfect example. Brad Johnson. So many quarterbacks have won championships just being adequate quarterbacks. Nothing spectacular about them. They just didn't turn the ball over. Like it's possible. Colin Kaepernick. They went to a Super Bowl. Colin Kaepernick, which is an adequate quarterback, but nothing special about him.
Mm-hmm. But like I said, what that move does is that move essentially, like I said, you only make that. Like I said, you only make that move if you already had the succession plan there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's the only way you can make that. Because essentially what you're doing with a Quentin Nelson is you're already addressing one of the most important aspects of the game right there in the trenches. If your trenches on both sides of the ball is good,
yeah,
you'd be surprised. You could turn a shit sandwich into a Subway sandwich at least. So
right. You can.
Well, I say some wild ass shit on here, bro. ATL was crazy ass talking about, man. Yo, ass crazy. Yeah.
That's the recipe. But all he did was dink and dunk and don't throw interception. That's all Trent Dilfer did. And they won a Super Bowl with that. But the Falcons can't do that. Didn't have a defense.
Right. But I want my defense to be on point. I guess people talking about they want to get on now. Since we talking about Matt Ryan, I guess now they want to get on.
I see.
You won't let him on?
We'll give him a few minutes. It's up to Case Time. What you got, Case? What you want?
I mean, we give it to him, but we only want the ones that.
Okay. If you have not been on already, and you have not been on already, please we can jump on. We want to give people new opportunities to kind of speak their mind. So, like, whether you disagree, whatever it is, whatever you got to say.
I want the disagreements. That's what I want.
Okay.
We get a lot of the people that kind of agree with us. We kind of say that for the Friday, but we want to see if we get some people that want to chime in on that. The people that kind of disagree with a lot of our takes this past year.
Mm-hmm.
So now, Suo, that is all up to you, homie. It's all up to you. Be like, the price is right. Come on down. But let's see, Rex Grossman, Chicago, and oh God, don't remind me of that. Love. I don't see how Chicago even pulled that off, man. If it wasn't for Devin Hester that damn year, boy. Devin Hester and Thomas Jones.
That dude was stupid.
Whew. Actually, if it really wasn't for Devin Hester, boy, that fucking Chicago team wasn't going nowhere.
Come on, Nutso, whatever your name is, Nutsuo.
Right. He said he was ready. All right, let's see. Hold on. Man, this came with another. He said Trey Lance not ready. I mean, that's what we say. Everybody's not ready in the same. Everybody's not ready. Like you say, everybody's not ready at the same pace, as I was about to say. I mean, it's a possibility. Like you said, it's a possibility that he's not ready. Like, you got one of the greatest quarterbacks in 49 history saying that he's not ready. Hold on, wait a minute. I'm just putting that right there because he did say send him the link. So we're gonna put that right there so that people know we ain't bullshitting.
It's pinned, so it's right there. You can't miss it. It's pinned. That's blue on my channel. So
unless he's watching it from my channel, which I highly doubt, but we see.
Just if it is, just pin it to use your phone, pin it to the Why we do this all the time? Like, bro,
yeah.
just come.
Oh my god.
Just come on.
Why does it always be like this, though, man?
We need a lot of tuna around this mug, bro. I'm gonna eat good tonight.
Yeah. Wait a second. You. Now we ain't gonna do that. We ain't gonna do that to him because he didn't really come with the disrespect.
It's tuna fish. He ain't came. He talked all that. He still has not yet. I don't know what he doing with his phone, but come on, bro. Put the porn down. All right. She'll be there. She'll still be there. Don't worry about it.
Like I said, we got about a few more minutes, man, because I ain't trying to be on this damn thing all night.
Come on, Damian. Come on.
If you want to, just hit one of the links. You can talk about what you want. He said he want to talk about the D-line. All right. D. Coleman said that's probably at work too. Boy, they getting on his ass.
That's the AOL dish.
I ain't even gotta say that. These fools crazy, bro. But yeah, Damian, the link. I'm gonna put the link in there one more again. Boy, they is killing this dude. They talk about can't stream porn and log on at the same time. Rahul said, I hate to see Matt Ryan pull a Matthew Stafford and go to the Colts. Hey.
That's life, man. Things happen.
Hey, but then you know what would be the main thing? You know the main thing what happens if he did that? Why the fuck he couldn't do it with us?
Yeah, yep.
You already know. We already know the same story. We already know this. It's the same story everywhere we go. It's so you say you had them pinned on your page. Man, I can't even do mine because my phone about to die. You know what? I'm not even finna be wasting too much more time like this. Like I said, y'all had about a 2-minute window. He's talking about it's easy to troll y'all with Matt Ryan comments. I'm just bullshit.
Come on, bro. Come on.
Come on, boy. You took the easy way out, bro. You took the easy.
I give a fuck about a troll, nigga. I am a troll.
Bruh, trolls is part of the show. That's why we want y'all to come on.
What we do here. We troll, okay?
Exactly.
You know us. How long you been watching? How long you
He ain't
been
been look. He ain't been watching long enough, but you gotta realize trolls is actually part of the show. We
That's what
make
That's
make
what
them part of the show. that like I said, cause
I broke a carton of sin. I said I would not say the N-word on this show. See, come on, man.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I say. That's
Oh
what I
my
said,
God.
man. That's what I said, man. These folk don't realize about trolls, man. We make trolls part of the show. Now, if you come disrespecting everybody in the chat and everybody and us on here,
let them
you
do
get
it.
your you
We
get
let
your
them
ass blocked. You get your ass
Boy.
you get your 5 seconds of fame and they get blocked. But if you respectfully trolling, like I said, you cool. But you still need to bring your ass on. All right, man. All right. Anybody want to just hop on for about 10 more minutes? Y'all go ahead and hop
about
on.
10 minutes. We'll give
about 10 more minutes. Yeah, y'all about 10 minutes. So if y'all hit the link, y'all want to hop on and give you 2 cents in, it's fine with me.
I smell tuna fish.
It smells like fish. All right, we got Damian on here. He coming on here as well. Let's see.
Bloody.
What's going on? Vlad, what's happening, man? What's happening?
How y'all doing?
We good. What about you, man?
Hey, same old, right?
Yeah, we already know, man. What you got, folks?
I was wanting to ask y'all what real drills are y'all looking at the combine? Like, what are y'all really gonna be focusing on when it comes to the drills?
I don't give a shit about the 40.
Amen.
I don't give a damn about the 40. I don't give a damn about the only drill that I'm really looking at is the motherfucking what is that? The 10-yard shuttle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's the one.
Yeah.
The shuttle drill I think is more important than the 40, to be honest with you.
I 100% agree. The only real thing you can kind of glean from the 40 is that, like, between like 0 and 10, because the pass rushers aren't normally having to run 40 yards. If they're having to run 40 yards, some stuff's went down. You know what I mean? So
exactly.
It's that 10-yard split right there is what you need to be focusing on. I look at it personally, but yeah, like that's the last thing I'm worried about. The only real thing I'm worried about as far as that goes is like maybe the cornerbacks. You know, maybe they're 40. See what they do, because you kind of want them to have long speed. But yeah, like that, the bench, stuff like that. Like, I'm not too concerned with those, because I mean, you know, like a player like Von Miller, came out, did 24 reps, and we've seen what Von Miller did. So it's like, it's about technique more than play strength most of the time.
Right. We saw Vernon Golston hit about 35 reps at a combine. And the motherfucker couldn't get he couldn't get a damn wide receiver off of him.
Nah, he couldn't. it was crazy. Like, I didn't get it. Like, how's a man that strong and he's getting like pushed around by like players like 200 pounds? It was ridiculous.
But like you said, the thing about the combine, the one thing I know about the combine is you could train for a combine. The tape says everything to me. Like, it's like, if you're looking at all the drills, the most important drills that I look at is the shuttle drill. And what is it? The jump. I forgot what is that.
The broad jump.
Yeah, the broad jump, and it's the other one. The
one they teach. They show you vertical.
Yeah, the vertical leap. Yeah. Those are really the 3 most important ones, because if you look at the broad jump and you look at the vertical leap, it shows how quick your ass can get.
See, that's the thing. Like, how quick can you go from 0 to 60? You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's really what you want a player to be, because, like I said, if you're having around 40 yards, some stuff that went down. So.
Right. All right. Hey, Damian, man, you ready, man?
Hey, what's up, y'all?
Man, what's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good. Hey, it's an honor to be on, man. I just
man,
had one
appreciate it.
question for y'all.
Y'all make it everything, but trust me, it's about
Exactly.
all y'all.
I got one question for y'all,
What's up?
and I want y'all to really think about this. Okay, we already got Grady Jarrett. We know he a beast.
Okay.
Now, if I was Terry Fontenot, what I would do, I got to have Devontae White next to him, and I got to have Jermaine Johnson and or
You
um, Trayvon Walker. Got to first two picks. Nobody else. That's it. First two picks. I don't want no wide receiver. Look, man, we need to hit the quarterback. Forget a cornerback, man. We need to hit the quarterback. We need D end, D tackle. That's it. First two rounds. I'm not really trying to see nothing else.
Personally, I'd love to see like that dream scenario for me would be like Kayvon Thibodeau at 8, and then like DeMarvin Leal at like 43. Like I really like Leal on the outside, like not so much on the inside, but he was pretty nasty outside.
you can't really go wrong with Thibodeau neither. I don't know. It's just like I said, I could be wrong here, but it's some about him. It reminds me too much of Vic Beasley. I don't know what it is. What I mean by that is it's the speed rush. The one thing I did see in his game is he quick. He got the quickest get off I seen in this draft.
Who, Thibodeau?
He's got one of the quickest get offs. But the thing about it is, I see the hand, I see the bull rush. But until he started getting a couple of pass rush moves, we don't know how long it's gonna take.
I gave him the Davion Clowney as my comparison. I think he's more Clowney. I mean, I know people are gonna say Aiden Hutchinson is more like Clowney, but no, I think Kid Thibodeau is more like Clowney. And I think the hype he has, because let's think about this. So we come into this draft. Thibodeau was the number one pick in the beginning of the preseason. Before college season started, Thibodeau was the number one pick. Hands down, everybody was going to take whoever was number one, they had to take Kayvon Thibodeau. And then you get to a point of, okay, he gets hurt versus Ohio State. He doesn't play. I think he played versus Stanford. They lost that game. Then he doesn't play in the Pac-12 championship. He doesn't play in the Rose Bowl. So he doesn't have a lot of film. You got to use your film from last year and a little bit you got this year. But you haven't seen him play. He didn't go to the Senior Bowl. He didn't do anything to show you what you like. He's gonna be at the combine. If he can show up at the combine, but I need tape. And I don't know if he's gonna drop all the way down to 8. As much as people are saying he's gonna drop, I don't think he's gonna drop all the way down to 8.
Nah. To be real with you, I don't really see him either. I'm just saying if he is there at 8, I'd be sprinting to the podium. But Jadeveon Clowney was actually the first person I thought of when I looked at Thibodeau, but then I looked at some more of his film, and I looked more like Brian Arakpo to me.
That was his comparison. That was his NFL.
Is that what they compared him to?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Hey, sweet. But like I said, you can't go wrong with either one of them, though. I just think that Jermaine Johnson might be more of the accomplished rusher right off the gate. I think that's why a lot of people love Jermaine Johnson over Thibodeau, because Thibodeau's still kind of raw, but it's like the athletic tools, all that shit is there. But like Tyrone said as well, you don't see a lot of tape on it. And like I said, Jermaine Johnson, you kind of see more of a polished game from him. So it's just one of those cases where are you going to take a chance? And this is where David Ojabo, this is where Ojabo is kind of like that risky pass rusher pick for me, is because just like Tyrone said, you really only got 1 year of football out of this guy. And he played opposite Aiden Hutchinson.
I mean, the thing about Ojabo, for me, the reason why I like Ojabo is because he's just crazy. Like you look at his film, he's not scared of contact. He gonna run at you, he gonna come at you no matter what. But I mean, it's a tough battle between you got somebody, you have proven talent at 8. Do you take the proven talent at 8, or do you take whatever you feel as needed?
None of that matters we're talking about an organization that doesn't give a damn about proven talent. What when we're talking about the college, right? All that stuff look good in college. You can look at his tape and like, but how is that going to convert over NFL? These guys are looking for pressure players, right? They're looking for guys they're gonna give you immediate impact. This is not the time to reach out where we're gonna wait for you to develop. They don't have time to wait for a guy to develop. So it actually goes into a guy like a Kayvon Thibodeau or Jermaine Johnson because those guys have the physical skill set to actually get immediate because you're going to be playing next to a Grady Jarrett. The key here is what I was saying earlier before. I've been saying this all year. You already have proven talent on your team. So what you want a guy to do, and it goes into Jordan Davis or whoever, to win their one-on-one battles. Grady Jarrett is going to get a lot of attention. All you need is Kayvon Thibodeau or a Jermaine Johnson or a Jordan Davis to win their one-on-ones. You already got that. That's something a lot of these teams in the top 5, they don't have a Grady Jarrett on their team. They don't have a Matt Ryan on their team. So all those guys is to have that one skill set, especially on the defense. Can you beat those one-on-ones? That's it. So I think that's what we need to focus on.
See, the thing about it is you have Grady Jarrett there. So like even if Kayvon Thibodeau comes out a little raw, like Grady Jarrett's going to be like he's what's going to hinge this defense of being great because of his just ability to teach, let alone take double teams and triples on the field to free these players up. Like even if Thibodeau comes out raw, he can teach them. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's one thing.
I feel like Devontae Wyatt, man, we can't pass up on him. I feel like he's just a generational talent. Like I feel like we need him next to Grady Jarrett. I feel like we got Devontae Wyatt, Grady Jarrett, and Jermaine Johnson, man. That's a great D line right there. I don't see, that's top 5 if you ask me. Because we already got DMPs to coach him up. Like, I don't think we get better than that, man.
Okay.
I want to address Shane's comment about JJ not going to Georgia. I want you to go back and look at the roster before he transferred and see who's in front of him, and think if he was really going to start at Georgia. Because mind you, he's still. I think when he come 2018. What year is this? His junior year. So
I think it is his junior year.
So it would be
Jermaine.
I think he was a red shirt senior this year.
Okay, so if that means you go look at everybody that's literally in the league right now that plays the end for Georgia, that's who was in front of him. You think he's
right?
You think he was really gonna start at Georgia? It's like Alabama. You go to Alabama, you don't win the spot, you transfer. It's the same. That's what Georgia has turned into. You ain't winning the spot, you might as well go. You ain't gonna play. You had Nolan Smith sitting there. You had Wyatt. You had both. You had Walker. You had all of these guys. You still. What is his name? Why can I not think of his name? He played for the Giants now.
Lorenzo. He used to.
Carter.
Jalari.
Yeah, Jalari. Aziz. You had Aziz. I mean, you had Carter. I mean, look at the names I'm naming. You're not going to start there. Like, it's I'm sorry that he didn't pan out at Georgia. He didn't start. He had to go get reps. He had to go somewhere and get reps.
And that's what the transfer portal is, man. You got to get them reps. All right, hey, Rice the Riches, man. You there, man?
Yeah, man. I just want to talk about what's next. Like, what's next on the agenda, and that's free agency. And I think we're going to be mid-market shoppers. And just doing the math and just reading, what everyone else is writing, we can pretty much acquire close to $25-30 million. What makes us a competitor, make us buyers in the mid market. You got you say, for instance, we are going to extend Grady Jarrett. That's going to relieve anywhere between $7 to $9 million. And extending Jake Matthews, that's going to free up at least $3 to $4 million. And then you got the Ridley trade. The Ridley trade is going to free up another $11 million. And that's not even accounting for trading Deion Jones, if it's a possibility. But his market is going to be anywhere between 2 to second or fifth round pick. I mean, because organizations are going to know that it's going to be a cap dump, so they're going to try to, but that's just something I'm saying. That's the bottom. But then next, you might not even have to touch Matt Ryan's contract because you don't want to keep pushing his money all the way back to where now we're in a true font situation where we're still paying him. So talk about what's next. It's like, if you do the math, those are the guys that you can extend. Grady Jarrett, Jake Matthews, and then you got Calvin Ridley. That right there alone is close to like $20 million. So what makes us mid-market free agent shoppers. And that's what's next. And then you can just go talk about the draft and see what complements us in free agency. But then, Deion Jones, you have to there got to be a reach for other teams to say, hey, what do you take for Deion Jones? I know we're not going to want to trade Deion Jones because it's going to be a $10 million cap hit next year. But that's just saying Deion Jones is on the bottom, and then Matt Ryan. You don't have to touch Matt Ryan because Matt Ryan is the last person you want to touch right now, even though he's the largest cap hit, is because of what TD did restructuring to why we still owe him that much money. You touch his contract again, we're going to still owe him that much money next year when he's long gone. So I say those three will basically make us mid-market shoppers. And what we're going to shop for is probably value. You got the old GM from Chicago that's now is our scouting, one of our scouting head scouters. He might bring some talent in, like James Daniel, maybe some wide receivers, maybe some other talent that they could not utilize, like Cordell Patterson. So that's what I'm saying. Like, talk about what's next, and I think that those three moves right there is what's going to propel and make the decision. Are we gonna trade down? Are we gonna pick are we chasing unicorn at number 8, Kyle Hamilton? Stuff like that. So I think doing the math and being realistic, I think that's gonna be the next move.
Did you take into account the actual rookie class?
Yeah, and
that's exactly what I was about to say. Hold on, let me say this real quick. You still got to, we're forgetting about the rookie contracts that are coming up. We're talking about Caleb McGarry and Chris Lindstrom. Chris Lindstrom is about to get stupid paid. So we're not going to be able to just leave Matt Ryan's contract alone or leave Grady Jarrett or let it just, because it's because you want to have an offensive line to protect even the future quarterback that's coming in. Matt Ryan is not going to play forever. So you still got two guys, and that's actually one of the issues as far as TD really hamstringing his team is going out and trading back up into the first round and getting the Caleb McGarry, where you could just wait a couple of spots to get him to begin with. So it's that's a good point you're saying, but you still, if you leave Matt Ryan's contract alone, you're still going to have to pay Caleb McGarry or Lindstrom, if not both of those guys. So those contracts are there.
Well, not necessarily. That's what I'm saying. That's when you touch Matt Ryan contract last, if it's the worst case scenario, because Caleb McGarry might not pan out. But what you forgot is that our left guard is the primary position was a right tackle. Maybe they move him to right tackle and experiment in the offseason to see if he can be Caleb McGarry's replacement, and then draft or bring in a true left guard, and then again. You might say, for instance, Terry Fontenot said, okay, let's restructure Matt Ryan into where, okay, it's the bottom of the barrel. We can't do nothing else. We got to restructure Matt Ryan because the fact that we signed a rookie contract and Caleb McGarry panned out. You can do a 4-year extension on him, and the 2-year can be void. So that way we can have him for this year and next year. So that way we're not paying him for entire dead cap money. So that's what I'm saying. There's ways around redoing Matt Ryan's contract. Caleb McGarry is a good right tackle, but the way the scheme is running, man, his hips is not made for our schemes.
Yeah, I'm just here to tell you there's no way around paying a quarterback. You're gonna pay a quarterback regardless.
Well, yeah, you're gonna pay him, but if you're gonna do that, then they're gonna I guarantee you they're gonna do a 4-year extension on Matt Ryan. And the last 2 years is gonna be a void year.
That's
that's fine right there. Shoot.
Exactly. But that's what I'm saying. that's what I'm saying. Like if it's that can come later on during like after the draft or however it need to make be. Because look what they did last year. We were like on edge, like how are we going to pay our draft pick? But they made it happen with Julio. What if they did that with Matt Ryan? Like, okay, how are we going to pay our draft pick? Let's restructure Matt Ryan. That's what I'm saying. Like the last thing we can do is touch his contract. Okay. So I think we're going to be mid-market shoppers. We're going to be good. We're going to be competitors. And I see that the draft is going to fall to us if we play our cards right in free agency and play the numbers right, hoping Terry play his numbers right.
All right. I got a question for you, homie. I got a question for you. You right there. You there?
Yep.
All right, so let's go with that scenario right there. As far as you talking about with the boy years for Matt Ryan, so would this be the okay? So we know it's a possibility that they might draft a quarterback in this draft. Would you take that quarterback with one of your first 2 picks of the draft, or are you focusing more so on other needs?
That's a gray area because if say for instance, if Sam Howard is there in the second round pick, or Ridley? Not Ritter.
Desmond Ritter. That's my quarterback.
Yeah, if he's there in the second round, the first pick him. Yes, pick him. Because either way it goes, he's still currency for you, for yourself, and for the team. I mean, for your team and for someone else. Yes, I'll do that.
I have to disagree on the second round pick. I would say the later second round pick. Because like I said, even if you do the second round pick, you essentially still got guys that are first round talent that can fall at that spot that you can be like, oh shit.
Oh yeah,
he can help me right now.
Oh yeah, guys. Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, you don't want. To be honest with you, I don't see no quarterback that can sit behind Matt Ryan between the first and second round that's worth picking. Because there's the pass rush talent in the draft is so deep, is that the third round pick can contribute. You don't think now.
Carson Strong isn't good enough?
Man, no. Well, Carson Strong, he doesn't move. He doesn't move efficiently.
I think we should get him in like the third round. If we get Carson Strong, we need to get
outside
him
the pocket, round. Man. He's Carson Strong is a pocket quarterback, and if you want to, that's like comparing apples to apples right now. Carson Strong and Matt Ryan. You compare apples to apples right now when it comes down to Carson Strong and Matt Ryan. If the way Arthur Smith is running his scheme, he wants somebody with a little bit more elusive, and Carson Strong is not it in the second round. Maybe the fourth or fifth, if he's there, pick him.
That's not necessarily true. He came out and pretty much stated when he was hired that he conforms his system around the players that he has. So he's like a couch. Well, not a couch in the hand so much, but he depending on the quarterback, that's how he's going to call plays. Depending on the talent around him, that's how he's going to call plays.
But besides age,
even Matt Ryan this year didn't do a lot of running.
Yeah, but I mean, I would pick Carson Strong in the fourth, fifth round. If he's there, yes, pick him. Because right about now, besides age, that's the only hands that he got above Matt Ryan right now is age. Oh. Because I don't see any difference between Carson Strong and Matt Ryan right now. I would not. Yes, as far as deep ball accuracy and all that stuff, you got to develop him. You got to make sure he fits the scheme. You make sure he's in sync with all the O-line. Like I wouldn't say it's too much work. It's just too much of a blueprint you got to build for Carson Strong to give up. Say for instance, if there's a productive fifth round pick that can not contribute right now, that can be a depth, then pick him.
I'm telling you right now, Carson Strong might end up in Patriots land to be a backup quarterback for collateral. Right now,
nah, I doubt it.
I'm telling you right now.
I don't think he's gonna fall that damn far.
That dude can throw the ball. The only thing this year, he was suffering from a knee injury. The latter part of his season, he started playing a lot better, but he was suffering from a knee injury. That's why his first 4 games wasn't as good as the latter part of his game. The guy can make every single throw, and not only him. I like guys like that's a number of guys, but let's Silas. Let's see what you got, bro. And then we get Jerry, Silas or Jerry, one of you guys.
Okay, guys. Yeah, I'm gonna kind of go all over the place with this and touch on some points that y'all made.
Oh, this Silas.
Yeah, the one thing people need to realize is just how bad the previous regime left this regime and what they're dealing with. It's going to take, to me, 3 years to try and get to move forward with this team. And in doing that, you're strapped with money. You're strapped with players that they signed, like y'all said, they were just giving contracts out here, there, and everywhere. And the coaches that we have now, I really believe in what they're doing. They've done a lot of things. When the beginning of this year happened, nobody expected this team to do a whole lot because we were looking at the defense. The defense wasn't that great. We were looking at the offense. The offense, we had, we got Kyle Pitts in and stuff like that, and we had Cordell Patterson. Some things that Terry Fontenot said was that with Cordell Patterson, he didn't get the offers that he originally wanted in free agency, and that they got him on a deal because Cordell wasn't picked up in the first run of it all. And they turned around and took somebody that the team didn't want him, that originally had him, and used him in a way, and he became something. Like y'all were saying before, it's a crapshoot when you go into free agency. So people always see the big splash when you throw the pebble in the water. You see the big splash, but a lot of people ignore the ripples. There's the ripple effect. All the things that happen because of that big splash. And what we're seeing now with this regime is, the first year they came in, they said it's going to be the best player available. And that's what they did. They went out and they got Kyle Pitts. When we're talking about Matt Ryan, I love Matt Ryan, and y'all talked about how, or they said that there's no player that we're going to commit to. You can't do that. We could all sit here and say, if somebody said, hey, I'm going to slap your mom, well, we're going to kick your ass. But if somebody said, hey, we're going to slap your mom and give you $2 million, every damn one of us would be screaming, Mom, get your ass in here. I need you to do something.
Hey, right, I need you to take one for the team.
Exactly, man. So what that also does is, from a financial standpoint, if the Falcons said, yeah, Matt Ryan's our guy, before you sit there and sign him and try and redo his contract, which I believe they'll do for 3 years or more, then Matt Ryan knows, shit, I'm going to be here, so I'm not taking anything. So I'm going to get them for as much as I can get them for. That is just good business to do that. You don't let somebody know, because if somebody came to me and they said, oh, we're going to keep Silas, then I'm going to try and bleed them for every damn dime they got, because I know they're going to keep me. It's good business. Plus, you need to make up the team. The team needs to be built. That's why I believe in this draft is so important. This draft, this year and next year, is key, because like y'all made valid points on it, we don't have the money to sit there and go and pay all of these people. We can't do that. That's why we're dipping into the CFL and probably the XFL and every damn AFL. We'll probably be grabbing damn everywhere.
Speaking of
yeah, they're trying to build up the team, and that's what they have to do, is take what the previous regime, the shit show they left them, and build off of it. So,
speaking of Pitts, got my jersey in yesterday.
I see him over there, boy. Got the Pitts jersey.
Damn right. But I mean, he's 100% right about the draft. I mean, like that's kind of the goal every year. Like even if you just won the Super Bowl, you still want to nail the draft. And the one reason I like Terry Fontenot, he sold me on this, last year, right? Is his focus on free agency. He's not looking at free agency as like an end all be all to fix your problems, but more of like, let's bring in some mid-level guys to kind of like, patch it up. You know what I mean? Because good teams don't let stars walk. They don't care what they have to do. Like, you think the Broncos was ever going to let like a prime Von Miller walk, or, Detroit literally made Calvin Johnson retire because they refused to let him go. Like, you're not getting these star players in free agencies. Like your best shot is to get these like patch guys that you can bring in on a 1-year deal. And that's what I love about it, is because not only does that give no real super ties to these players to Atlanta, but it gives them a second shot at a contract and helps these players get paid. And at the same time, that's going to motivate these players that may have not worked out in their previous regime, elevate, because they're trying to get paid now. So like, that's just brilliant business all the way around from Terry. And as far as getting talent, like dude's a monster.
I mean, Terry. I mean, we all know Terry was a pro scout. He's a pro personnel person before he turned into a GM. He knows these guys, like, and that goes into what we brought him in for. It's what you think of, like, these guys want to win. They don't want to lose. Like everybody was complaining this year, why are we winning games? Because these guys don't want to lose. They don't want to sit in the backseat all these next 3 years or 4 years and wait till everybody contracts up and then try to rebuild. We got to rebuild now. You got to bring people in now. You got to bring in these 1-year patch-up jobs to cover up with. Okay, you drafted the class last year. You covered up some of your spots. You're going to draft this class. It's going to cover up some of your spots. Your empty spots, you can fill in with these mid-level guys. They have some talent and that can still come back. And then the next year, you fill up in that draft. And then you have a team built with young players, with players that your team age average might be 24 or something to that. So, that's what you want. That's what you want to bring in. You want to bring in a GM that'll do that. And then you bring in Pace, who is a pro scout. He's literally here to help bring a pro personnel scout. So
by the time Ryan gets into that road, boom, you got your team built. Just bring your next QB in and just there you go.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. And that's why I firmly believe, I believed other years that we would trade back, but we really need to trade back. We need as many picks as we can get. And that goes into the whole Ridley situation and picks that we get. I think the picks are going to be just extremely important this year and next year for the draft.
Oh, yeah. If somebody offered me a second this year for Ridley or a first next year, give me that first next year. You know what I mean? Like,
I'll be right there with you.
Who we got? Let's see who Jarvis got. Oh, my bad.
Jarvis, what's up, man?
What's up, man? Hey, I ain't come over here. I'm letting everybody else get some time in. I just come here and talk some shit. Let me tell you right now. I'm gonna tell you right now. I heard y'all talking about some Georgia Bulldogs earlier. I don't give a damn about no Georgia Bulldog. I'm telling you, I don't give a damn about none of that. Y'all can have gone about that. But I just come on here to remind your ass, you and K-Style, y'all better have that Big Beasley video coming up soon.
We got it.
We gonna have that coming up, man. Don't worry about it, man. We gonna have that coming up.
All right. No, that's all love, man. I just wanted to call it, come to talk some shit with y'all. I'm letting everybody else take over.
He just came in here like, yeah, y'all better have that Big Beasley video. I'm about to say we want to see face plants and bad spin moves, man.
Nah, y'all got Dante Fowler for that shit. Nah, y'all can do a whole video on him.
Exactly.
But much love, y'all. Y'all take care, man. I'm gonna y'all chat, let everybody else take over.
You can do a compilation of Dante Fowler looking like the worst DN you've ever seen play, really and truly.
Oh yeah,
bro. If you want to see Dante Fowler, all you gotta do is play Mortal Kombat and pick range and do that's all you gotta do. Just do that. Do that torpedo move all day. You got Dante Fowler right there.
What's the little hat? You gotta get the hat and throw it around. That's Dante Fowler. He's just the hat. He not even Raiden. At least got some power behind it. He just the hat. He just getting thrown around and spun around.
Yeah,
He not even the character. He
Right.
he an accessory.
right.
At that point.
But right. Hey, Rice the Riches. You still there, man?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. So I wanted to get to the other part you was talking about as far as the Devontae Wyatt, the Wyatt aspect. You sure you ain't been looking at my some of my mock drafts I be doing on my phone? Cause you literally just hit 2 picks that I always end up getting. I don't know why, but I'm just saying.
No, Wyatt. Look, I think Wyatt's going to go before Jordan Davis because Jordan Davis is more of a space eater. Well, Wyatt literally said he trained with Grady Jarrett. So Wyatt is a prototype of Grady Jarrett. Not even undersized, but the hand move, the ability to get double teamed, the speed rush, the ability to get off the ball. PFF got Wyatt rated as the number one. That's basically the athletic D tackle in the draft. He's going to go before Jordan Davis. So we can't get Wyatt. So if anything, Wyatt's going to be like later first round. Man, if he slipped to the second round, that's a dream. That's a dream draft. But Wyatt's going to go before Jordan Davis because Jordan Davis is like a Vince Warford?
Vince
Yeah.
Wilford.
Yeah, he's more of that typical player. So, you can't have Jordan Davis in Atlanta because we got sort of a Jordan Davis in a cheaper. We got not even a poor man's Jordan Davis, but what's his name that we got him in like free agency for like a bargain?
Anthony Rush.
Yep, Anthony Rush. You see what I'm saying? Like, imagine Jordan Davis come in and he's playing the same speed, the same style as Rush. So Wyatt, yeah, but even until we trade down and we get him, yes, but it won't make sense to have him next to Grady Jarrett because then you got to move Grady Jarrett to the edge. You got to move Grady Jarrett to the edge and let Wyatt play the middle, and now you got to have Anthony Rush in the middle. So I wouldn't pick Wyatt. I would pick someone like Jermaine Johnson, like you said, Thibodeau, because the guy from Michigan, he's the Vic Beasley of the draft because he's so raw and all he got is speed. The way if you go back and watch him play against Georgia, he was praying to the O-line. He was on his knees the whole time. So that's how I see it, man. I'm a big personnel. Like, I love the Falcons all day, but I'm a big personnel guy. Like, I even watched the Senior Bowl and how Jermaine Johnson just like dominated the O-line, the guard, and he just sat out. He just sat out the game. Like, I did what I had to do because he proved that he cracked the Georgia defensive line. Like, he cracked the starting role, and then he decided to transfer because he wants more playing time, and he dominated in the ACC. So I think he's the best pass rusher, and I wouldn't mind taking him at 8 because if you take him at 8, or most people are like, oh man, Atlanta reach. Look what they say about AJ Terrell, how we reach for him. I think Jermaine Johnson is the perfect fit. I wouldn't get a Wyatt, or if anything, if I fall through the draft, I'll get a younger Anthony Rush, which is Jordan Davis, because he'll eat up the space.
Well, AJ wasn't necessarily a reach. AJ was just not what we needed at that time. So it's like,
right.
It's not.
Wait, hold on. You say AJ was not what we needed at that time?
No,
I think we do.
We've always needed defensive line. That's something we needed since, even at that time, we did not need a corner. We needed pressure. We've been last at the bottom of the league as far as they pass rush for quite some time.
You can go back and forth with it because those positions complement each other. Because you can't. Look at Robert Alford when he transitioned out. and Trufant when he transitioned out, we had a good D line because they were good athletes. We were content with our D line to make them good athletes, to make other teams to be big spenders on them. So you really, I think we did need more of a corner than D line.
I can't get down with that. I'll be fucking D line suck. Right?
I think where the issue came down with is
we built that team.
Where the defense went where it went wrong for this defense, and it ties all the way back to Smithers' goofy ass. By not re-signing Dontari Poe when he was the perfect running mate for Grady Jarrett, because he was gonna resign for the low because he wanted to play with Grady.
He wanted to be here.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I mean by don't draft another Grady Jarrett. Draft a space eater that allow Grady Jarrett and free up some space for our linebacker. And that's why everyone is just like so down on Deion Jones, how he just feels like he's out of it. Like is the only thing I can say about Deion Jones is like he get lost in the run game. But I mean, he's a good athlete overall. You can I'd rather have him lined up next to Foye than Michael Walker. So Michael Walker, he can play behind Jones, but then you can draft Kyle Hamilton to play in the box to cover tight ends and to drop back, because I think Kyle Hamilton is a crossbreed between.
I'm not getting my hopes up for him. I'm not even.
I think he gonna be gone in the first 3 picks.
Yeah,
but that's what I'm saying.
I ain't getting my hopes up.
Or trade out. My thing is Kyle Hamilton there. Grab him. He's not trade out.
See, the two guys I'm looking at, if Hamilton's not there or like Thibodeau's not there, I'm ideally would like to trade out, like, because there's not really any. You can still get Johnson at, like, let's say you trade out to 14 or 15 or something like that. I still think you could probably get him around there, and just call it a day.
Would you, if Dan Quinn come calling from Dallas Cowboys and said, "Hey man, let me get Deion Jones, let me get my boy, I'll give you Amari Cooper," would you take that?
Hell no.
You wouldn't take Amari Cooper?
Cause what's gonna end up happening is you're gonna have to essentially get that. Cause remember, Amari Cooper just got paid like 2 years ago, so you're going to absorb that contract in itself when we already don't have the money.
Look at the numbers. He's only going to hit us $2 million over what Deion Jones is going to hit us. Deion Jones is going to hit us $10 million. Amari Cooper is going to hit us 12, right? Prescott ain't shit without Cooper. Cooper is the superstar of that offense. He's going to demand double team, and that's going to create more superstardom for all the other wide receiver in Dallas. I would trade.
Everything hurt. Like every time I turn around, something wrong with Julio Jr. I'm good with that.
See, that's my biggest thing. What Mike touched on right there is the injury history. Like, you don't want to be paying a player like that.
My home is a Cowboys fan, and he's been injured quite a lot. Like, so it's not so much his ability. Like, I think we get caught up with ability versus
availability.
That's what I was gonna say.
I think like there was no need to have a Julio Jones on this team anymore. The more that I even look back, because Julio Jones is going to give you 8 elite games. The rest of them he's going to be half-assed, and I mean he's going to be half of a Julio Jones. That's why we went out to go get a Calvin Ridley, because his physically he just wasn't holding up.
Like K-Style says, the best of ability is availability.
So it's not so much. It's not so much racist. I would just want to say this, all right? It's not so much. You're right on when we talk about overall talent, but in the NFL, it's about availability. If you are consistently on the field and you're consistent with your numbers, then that's the best way to be. If you're injured, you're giving us 3 good games out of the year, but we paying you $20 million a year. That's not good enough for the team. That's a waste of money.
Yeah, I know, but I think Atlanta been wasting their money for a long time, so that's a great area, to speak on, because at this point, it's not even that you're rolling the dice. It's showing that, okay, if Calvin Ridley's on his way out, Deion Jones doesn't fit the scheme, or he doesn't want to play no more. If we can only get a third, like the least we can get is a 5th round for him, because other organizations know it's gonna be a cap dump. Why not trade for someone that can cost us $2 million more than Deion Jones? Because we got a Michael Walker, where the amount of times that he played with the Falcons, he graded the highest in the linebacking core next to Foye. So you can say that, because at least Michael Walker have the link to cover tight ends and does not get lost in the run. The way this scheme is going right now, I'd rather get Amari Cooper for 8 games than Deion Jones slacking for all 17 games.
He is played less than 20 snaps a game on the defensive side of the ball. I he's shown in his snaps to be the ability to make plays, but that's only in a handful of plays. Like, it's way too early to take that chance on a guy that hasn't seen a lot of action. It'd be essentially what we did with Devondre Campbell and even Stephen Nicholas back in the day. Stephen Nicholas was good when we gave him limited snaps, but when he became that guy, we saw his deficiency. So it's like, again, you gotta have depth to get the most out of each player. Every player is a part of a puzzle, is a piece of a puzzle. And like when we bring in Devontae Wyatt, is Devontae Wyatt going to be that main guy that's going to establish can he establish the run, and can he get after the quarterback? Like most defensive linemen, they can only do one thing in the NFL. There's very few guys in the league that can stop the run and rush the pass. So that's where you
doesn't normally the top 10 guys.
Yeah, that's Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald is the best at stopping the run and getting to the quarterback. So if you get a Wyatt, then you're just adding depth behind Grady Jarrett. That's all I see. And that's just like I wouldn't say drafting a quarterback behind Matt Ryan, but if he's there in the second round, get him.
The thing about Aaron Donald though is he's in like that conversation with like Reggie White, that kind of player doesn't come around but like every 20 years, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Mm-hmm. That motherfucker built like CT Fletcher and shit. Of course he gonna damn dunk.
You know what I mean? But man's a freaking rock.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'll say if we drop back, right, the value pick in the second round, if Wyatt is not there, is that gap stopper from UConn, and another one behind Wyatt is the Oklahoma defensive tackle. They used him wrong, but he was the MVP of the Senior Bowl. If you go back and watch his tape, I forgot Murphy, whatever.
Oh, you talking about Winfrey?
Yes,
okay.
Yes. So that's what I'm saying. Like, Wyatt is there, but he's not. I wouldn't draft him at 8 until we drop back. But there's the UConn D tackle, which I think he's like right there by Jordan. To be my eyes, I'm a big Georgia fan. He's right there by Jordan Davis. He's more athletic.
Travis Jones, I'm a huge fan of him. I'm a huge fan of him, like in the second round, like that second pick or something.
Right.
Then
are we still huge fans of Deion Jones? Or are we not trying to just run him out the door, right?
Yeah,
I need to know.
No, I
keep trying to trade you, bro.
Wow. Wow, that man really did that. He told me he was gonna do it and he did it. Oh man.
That boy got the headband like a motherfucker on there.
Oh man, he got the headband and everything.
Now I'm gonna say one thing about Travis Jones that I do like, and I think this is where he kind of have the advantage over Jordan Davis. God damn it, this is supposed to be a future video, but I'm gonna give y'all the preview right now. But but you know, one thing about Travis Jones is he's kind of one of those guys that like to push people around. Jordan Davis doesn't really push a lot of people around. He big as hell as a wall, but he doesn't really push people around. Now I see what Rice was talking about. He's talking about getting more of a defensive lineman that's versatile as far as a guy that can do multiple things instead of bringing in a guy that you just bring in for one particular role.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of the main things that we've been harping over here too. Is like we already said this is like you want to have guys that have multiple. We use the word multiplicity players over here. So you got to have those guys that can do that. Now, the Deion Jones thing, like I said, that's an interesting take because the thing is, Foyer is not going to be cheap to keep. He ain't going to be cheap to keep. So you're essentially going to have to pay about 14 for him, at least 14, 15.
No. You're not gonna pay him that. That's overvalued. To be honest, I think $7 to $8 million a year for Fourier is perfect for his market.
He ain't taking no less than 12. I'm telling you.
Not the league's leading tackler. It don't work like that, bro.
See, and that's the thing too. It's like this team already has a lot of money tied up in a linebacker. You think they're gonna pay 2?
Exactly. That's what I was saying. Like, are you going to trade Deion Jones because you got to keep one or the other? But other teams already know there's going to be a cap dump. If it's a cap dump, we're going to only get like a 4th or 5th round pick for Deion Jones.
So why even wait for Deion? You got Fourier hitting the market, and you can just pay Fourier.
Right. Exactly. So pay. That's what I'm saying. Like,
I'm talking about other teams. Other teams are not paying a guy. Fourier is already a free agent, so why even talk to the Falcons? Fourier is a free agent.
Well, I mean, we got the eighth pick, man. So you got linebackers out there that can complement to his role.
So most scenarios where we think about everything and not just one particular.
Right, like you said. Like you said, a Devin Lloyd is perfect for this team.
Yeah,
Jermaine Johnson is perfect for this team. Or Jordan Davis.
I'd be mad if they go Devin Lloyd at 8.
No, I wouldn't either.
Well, they go Devin Lloyd, boy, I'll be in here with Pom and everything. Like, yeah.
Devin Lloyd, you think Devin Lloyd will compliment? Yeah.
He can
see, here's the thing with Devin Lloyd. This is one thing I do love about his game is if you look at him, if you look at a lot of the games that he plays, like he literally plays outside and inside. And if you're talking about of all the linebackers, he has the best hands out of all the linebackers because you got to think about it. The dude averages 100, and you go through his college career. I know people look like, well, he played at Utah, whatever. I'm looking at a guy that's averaged over 110 tackles a season, 6 sacks a season, 5 interceptions a season.
Mm-hmm.
And last year he had 22 tackles for loss.
Bro,
that's a Fourier.
See, that's the thing.
That ain't Fourier.
No.
That's a Fourier replacement.
All over that. That's why I say I don't look. I'm telling you right now, if they take a risk, it won't be on Thibodeau. It won't be on any of those guys. It's going to be Devin Lloyd because of that reason. This is the reason why Kyle Hamilton also because you can do so many things. You can put him in the spot, cover guys. You can send off the edge as another edge rusher, and you can put him in the middle. Devin Lloyd is one of those guys you can do all of that. So
exactly,
because if you look at Kyle Hamilton, you would essentially be using him like you used Deion Jones.
Yeah, you damn near could put him anywhere.
No, not necessarily. You want to use that Deion Jones because okay, this season alone in the scheme, where did you see Deion Jones was most successful at? And I'll tell you 2 games he was most successful. But the position that he played in a linebacker scheme with Dean Pease, when was he successful?
He was successful.
But
no. Listen, you asked the question. Let us answer. He was successful in most of the games. What we got to understand is you had 2 linebackers with nearly over 130 tackles apiece. When you got that, and then also they gave up 2,000 yards rushing. Okay, let me say that again. They gave up 2,000 yards rushing. 2 guys over with damn near 300 tackles. That's not a linebacker issue. That's a front issue. So when you get guys up front, they're going to close those gaps like a Devontae Wyatt and a Thibodeau. They're going to close those gaps. So Fourier and Michael Walker, Deion Jones, they're going to have more room to operate. And when you give those linebackers more room to operate and freelance, that's when you get the best out of a Fourier. That's when you get the best out of a Deion.
People have to remember too, when Deion Jones was coming out, one of his weaknesses was shedding blocks. So that's why I'm such a big fan of like Travis Jones in the second rounds, because if you can have him up front to free up Deion, so he's not having to shed these blocks off these 320, 330 pound guards, you know, he's ready. He's able to just roam, you know, kind of like how Van Quinn had him. You know, that's his lane basically. That's where Deion really excels.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how free agency go, but I feel like we're going to keep everything in the house, and that's what I'm saying. Like, we're going to be mid-market spenders, and the last contract they're going to touch is Matt Ryan. But while I was doing the math, I think
I don't know anything at this point.
We don't damn know.
If you know our motto here, we say we don't damn know. All right, that's what we say. I don't damn know. So I'm not gonna make no guarantees. I don't like predictions. I always say wait and see. We don't damn know. So
I'm gonna be the optimistic spirit of you guys, and just like I know, because I know the math.
I just say I don't like looking stupid. I'm just telling you, I ain't gonna look. I'm not gonna put myself in the position to look dumb.
Well, Mike, you got to realize too. Well, the public perception is whatever anybody else say up here, you put everybody up to it.
Right.
I still don't get that, but whatever.
I like talking to Rice, because like I said, we all about different scenarios. I don't like hearing the same things over and over again. So like, look, it gets boring talking about the same stuff everybody agrees on. And like I said, we definitely appreciate it. We're gonna kind of close it down. We're gonna give Yeezy a couple of minutes, but we about to close it down. We've been going on
all right, Yeezy, don't take too damn long, because I gotta go to work in the morning. What you got for us?
I mean, I heard you say that most likely Fourier or Lucan is not coming back, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I said it. So, hey.
Oh, okay. So I'm looking at dude from Georgia, number 41. That could be Dean. It could be a good playmaker for us. What you think?
You're essentially getting Deion Jones. That's essentially what you're gonna get.
Right. Yeah.
No.
Bro,
yeah.
he's the bro.
I'm a Georgia fan, bro. Trust me.
Bro, he is 6 foot 219 pounds. You essentially getting Deion Jones again. See, the thing is, when you're looking at the 2 middle linebackers.
Yeah.
No. You got corrected. Somebody said that you said the wrong number. You said N'Kobe Dean. They said number 41 was the other guy. $10 or something like that.
Okay, that could be Dean. I mean, that could be Dean.
But I know what you mean.
But the thing is, when we're looking at middle linebackers, we're looking at this 3-4 hybrid odd front that they look. If you got a Deion Jones, you need a linebacker next to him that's going to do dirty work. So it means you're going to need somebody that's a little bit bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Now we were still in the 4-3 kind of front where it was a 4-3 base. The Kobe Dean wouldn't be a bad option. But the thing is, you're essentially going to have 2 linebackers that's pretty much going to be the same size as Kyle Hamilton. So
you're going to need Jordan Davis.
You're going to need a Jordan Davis, or you're going to need a Travis Jones. That's going to have to be the main pick you're going to have to get.
I mean, I don't like, the dude from Oregon. He kind of undersized. I feel like this is where the Falcons are heavy. Kevin Thibodeau. Yeah, Thibodeau look like they're interested. Because I saw like so many Falcons content creator are making like the draft prediction predict that we're gonna take Kevin Thibodeau. I mean, most likely this is where we're headed.
Right.
I
'Cause
mean, you gotta
he has a
factor.
high grade.
I like me personally. Like I said, I've been doing this for quite some time. Just following guys like Aaron Freeman when I first started. Matt Carroll and what. But my thing is I always wait and see because we don't know what these guys are going to do in free agency. Free agency is where we can set the plan in place. And there's the reason why they could go out and sign, 2 or 3 defensive linemen. And then, all right, we're looking at the first pick. All we need is one guy up front because we've already got depth. We're not looking for depth at that point if we sign 3 defensive linemen in free agency. And then you can go, the offensive line, get some receivers, some running backs, perhaps a quarterback, to kind of help bridge that gap for Matt Ryan to make their decision a lot better. So like I said, this is where I say I wait and see. I never like jumping the gun. And like I said, one of the things I admire most about scouting is that you it's like a free for all. It's like a kid in the candy store.
Yeah.
Everybody like what they like, but at the end of the day, like, is it really good for you? You know what I'm like? Is it really good for you? Are these guys really as good as advertised? Because when we talk about this is the land of the best of the best of the best. And it comes down to hard work in the NFL versus talent. Everybody in the NFL got talent. Everyone in the NFL has talent. Are you going to work hard? Matt Ryan is if you want to put anybody on the pedestal talking about talent versus hard work, Tom Brady and Matt Ryan should be the poster boys of that. Tom Brady's slow as hell. I can run better. I can run with my fucked up knee. I can run faster than him.
Yeah.
Guess what? He's still one of the greatest. The dude was a 6th round pick and became the GOAT or considered as a GOAT. So we can talk about talent all we want, but I want guys, what we keep saying over here, constantly, I want guys that going to bust your mama in the mouth, kidnap a baby, and smack a referee on the field. That's what I want.
I bet you won't hit a motherfucker. Hit a motherfucker.
Hey, you know what? You're right. This is what we need. We don't have a culture down here. I mean, this team doesn't have any culture. What is our culture? We don't have any. I could guarantee you that I can run onto the field and slap one of these guys. They won't react to me. They won't.
They say they gonna get your pizza parties at the.
Why would people running backwards on the field because they scared to get hit? You know what I'm saying? Like I said,
I watch his steps since from his rookie year. I'm talking about Calvin Ridley. I saw that since his rookie year. I watch his tape. Actually, yesterday I watched all these tapes since 2018. I mean, he's really running either backward or sideways. Scary to get hit. And you got also Gage out there. He don't care.
Yeah, Russell Gage, boy, I be feeling sorry, boy. I be scared for him, boy. I be at the call.
We might lose him. We might lose him in free agency.
I want some people that's gonna run through a wall. They gonna falling on their neck. Like I want all of that. I want to Troy Polamalu. Polamalu don't give a damn about his body.
Hell no.
He didn't give a damn about his body. That dude will run like this dude diving from half the he like Jeff Hardy. He's the Jeff Hardy of the damn NFL.
What? Damn.
Man, we gonna be here for a whole 3 hours, man.
All right, man. We about to close this thing on out, boy. It's about 10:30. We definitely appreciate everybody. If y'all got any final words, man, y'all go ahead. We're gonna go ahead. We start with Yeezy. What's your final words for the night for the people?
Okay. we've been an offensive team since Matt Ryan got here, right?
Right.
I was looking at like the special team stat and the defensive stats. This shit look horrible. What was the last time we had a special team touchdown? I tell you what. What was the last time we had a special team touchdown? Remember when Devin Hester
I
broke
was
that
gonna say
record? That was the last time we had a special team touchdown, almost a decade ago. Defense. I do my research on defense too, and I went deep. What was the last time how a defense shoot out an opposing offense? Hold them to 0 points. What was the last time you saw that?
Oh, 3 points. It's been a while.
I never see that.
I mean, we almost did it with the Saints, but like they still.
2018 was the last time we had a top 10 defense, if I'm not mistaken. It was like 8th or 9th, something like that.
Yep.
And Dan Quinn's so-called defensive-minded coach Mike Smith could not fix Mike Smith. We had like not that horrible defense. We had like
you know what Dan Quinn is. All Dan Quinn is.
I'm saying Mike Smith.
He DJ Khaled. We the best. That's all he. That's all he does good. All he does is just to scream and yell and amp people up. That's what Dan Quinn is. Right? Let's just keep it 100. That's all he good for.
I mean, I remember like way back in 2018 and 2019 when all those people was ranting like fire Dan Quinn. I feel sorry for the guy. Look at him now. Now he with the Cowboys, he's doing his thing. That's another story. But
that's what happens when you got better players over there too.
And we draft horrible. Another thing, we draft horrible. We could not draft. Thomas Dimitrov could not draft, could not sign anybody.
Thomas Dimitrov thought he was Oprah giving out contracts.
On top of Thomas Dimitrov, who's already horrible and giving contract, you got a bunch of dumbass who ain't doing shit and want to get paid. This is a lose-lose situation right there. You got a noble GM, you got like people like Ted McKinley, Vic Beasley, Todd Gurley, Dante Ferrier, who want to get paid. They ain't doing nothing. I can go on, man. Next.
All right. Hey.
You just need like a 180 degree turn in this thing, man.
Man, whatever it was, man.
It's gonna take time because I feel like as long as we keep extending, we keep restructuring this player. This is like we could never get out of this hole by keep restructuring, by extending the player that we already have on this team. We could never get out if we keep extending this guy, restructuring their contract and stuff like that. 7 years from now, we'll be still doing the same thing because this process is like you never get out. The whole process. What you think about that, Mike?
Well, I'll just keep it short. That's not true because it's actually the dead cap money that keeps you restructuring to begin with. So I'll let Rice go ahead and then Vlad get
Who's up them cheerleader?
So I'm gonna use this as my receipt, be the optimistic guy, and just let you guys know that we're gonna be okay in free agency. We're gonna be mid-market spenders, and we're gonna let the draft come to us. And if the draft don't come to us, I feel like Fontenot got something in his sleeve. I don't know what, but we're gonna be okay. And that's from extending Grady Jarrett, free up $7 to $9 million, extending Jake Matthews, free up $4 to $5 million, and then you have Calvin Ridley where he's at the door. That's $11 million. That's on the dot, $11 million. And then you got the last two, which is maybe trade Deion Jones, $10 million, and re-signing. Not restructuring, re-signing, extending Matt Ryan to a 4-year where the last 2 years void, or maybe 3 years when the 3rd year is void. And minus, that's not even talking about all the cuts we're going to do. So that's my receipt, and that's how I'm gonna leave it. And you guys can revamp back to this and show you that I'll probably be the math analytics to you guys' podcast.
I'm always down for some analytics.
Let me get this one thing out right quick. Now remember, the highest paid, the market for linebackers now is $20 million because Darius Leonard just got 19 this past season. So we got to take that into account.
Well, Fourier is getting $8 million 4 years.
Hold on.
Oh hell no! He ain't finna take. He ain't taking
Here's the
that.
problem.
He ain't gonna take that. I'm
Here's
telling you right now.
Hey, I must say this. Here's the problem right there. This league got some like how can I say that, smart mouth coaches like Rex Ryan, stuff, people like that, right? But GM and Hunter, they never they want to keep it all corporate, right? I mean, I don't blame them for that, but
right.
Let's say you pay Darius Leonard for like 19 million, you say, right? Darius Leonard is the best linebacker in this league. Let's say you Deion Jones, you Fourier Lucon. Would you want to get paid past 20 millions?
But that's
just being honest.
But the thing about it is, it's not about being the best player. It's about being available when the market goes up. Like I said, he might not get as much as that 19, but you have to remember, if Deion is making 15, Fourier is going to want close to that or a little bit more. You got to remember that.
Please, Fourier, you can. I mean,
now if you talking about you want Fourier,
go ahead, man. Stop.
Go flag. Go ahead.
All right, I'm gonna keep it short and sweet because I know Mike and K Styles wants to get at least about 20 minutes sleep before work tomorrow. So I love spitballing it with y'all. You know, sit here speculating on what I find it completely fun. Like Mike and K Styles said, we don't know anything that's gonna happen. This is just all speculation and just chopping it up and having fun. So. As always, I appreciate y'all letting me come on and talk with y'all and, hang out.
Hey, man, definitely. Hey, look, and like I said, at the end of the day, we just have to remember, and this is my final words, even when we got out of this press conference, out of what these guys have said on here, it's all smoke and mirrors, bro.
Yeah.
We don't know what the hell is going on. Like I said, they can give you a little piece, but they're not going to give you the whole sentence.
Let's say they're just going to give you 2 words and the whole book.
Right. So that's why I said we taking it for face value right now because of what we getting. We don't really know what the hell these guys are playing. They might have a move up their sleeve that's going to shock the hell out of everybody.
Hey, hold on. I just saw that on Sports Illustrated, right? It looked like they was trying to trade Matt Ryan to the Colts. Y'all see that?
Man, they've been trying to trade Matt Ryan since 2009, bro.
I'm not talking about the fan base who said.
No, I'm talking about Sports Center and all them, but they've been trying to trade Matt Ryan out of Atlanta since 2009.
There's really a trade rumor every year.
This is the problem right here. This is the problem. This is why I don't watch. I mean, I only watch NFL Network because it's the main channel for this league. It's channel like ESPN, FS1. I don't watch those channels no more because only thing they're doing is like hot takes. They're just gonna choose a topic that's gonna attract the mainstream to get them views and stuff like that.
Right.
I prefer listening to 90 to 9 the game all day than watching ESPN.
Oh yeah. But let me say this. I really appreciate everybody coming on with different opinions. I don't know how many times I can reiterate that. But it's refreshing. It's actually more entertaining to have guys on with difference of opinion. That's what we're trying to. As far as what we do over here, we want to present different scenarios for everybody. So for Falcons fans, and not to get stuck on a narrative to say, "Oh, Matt Ryan is going to be here forever." You never heard any one of us say that Matt Ryan, we don't want Matt Ryan gone. We always stated that we have to do it the right way, because if you want to contend and be a champion for years to come, even when Matt Ryan is no longer here, you don't want to have to go through 20 years of pain, all right, in the Hall of Pain, like Cleveland, Jacksonville, so many other franchises. So I would be done the proper way. And I'm not willing to get rid of a guy with a $48 million, the highest contract in history of the NFL, just because I want to rebuild. I want it done the right way because I want to see my team win and have the opportunity to get to the playoffs where everybody has a chance in the playoffs. So that is our stance. I don't damn know what the hell they're doing. I ain't no goddamn expert. All right? We ain't experts. None of us are experts. All these content creators, whether it's on Twitter, Facebook, wherever, nobody knows anything. Nobody knows what the Falcons are going to do except for the Atlanta Falcons. Okay? So that's what it comes down. It's all about opinions, respecting each other's opinions, and we love people coming along with difference of opinion. That's all I gotta say.
And if you strong in your convictions and you talking about you want people to send you the link and you don't hit the link, what does that say?
It was trolling. You say you was trolling.
He said, nah, bro. He waited until that link came up to say he was trolling. He had been talking the whole time. He waited till the link came up to say he was trolling. But like you said, that is the formula. And like I said, for new content creators, this is the formula for dealing with people that troll. Invite them on your show. It seems like that always gets them away. I don't know why.
I remember way back when yeah, listening to 6ix9ine and stuff like that. Way back when him and Trippie West, it was beefing and stuff like that. Get on my live.
We ain't got time for your stories, dog. He's gonna have a story for everything, boy.
Exactly. Boy, y'all gonna have me on the damn thing like this.
Steve Harvey. He's Steve Harvey. This motherfucker got a story for everything, but
All you need is the mustache. All you need is the mustache and the goddamn ball. That's all your
Hell no, that's funny.
All
right, people, man.
I love you, Yeezy, man. Hey, man, we love y'all.
Hey, it's all love. We love everybody here, man. So until next time, y'all make sure y'all check in. What's the word? Dirty Bird as well with Utah Sports tomorrow, as well as check out Noah Tyndale late nights. Hey, and as we say over here, man, we ain't here to play. We here to stay. You ain't got to go home.
But you got to get the hell up out of here.
Bam.
Deuces.
Deuces.